People are getting tired of America's shit and everything having to be regulated through the American dollar, which means we also impose our wills and beliefs onto these nations that don't want it, and in the near future the American dollar may lose the relevancy that it once had. Now you may be asking yourself, what could be challenging the American dollar? And that's what BRICS is here for. The original name BRIC was started in 2001. And what BRIC stands for is Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And then eventually they added the S, which is South Africa. But before I dig deeper on the history of BRICS and what it means going forward, if you enjoy the content analysis I give, maybe you can give me a like and subscribe. If not, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. So the original acronym BRIC was coined in 2001. So they've been plotting all the way back since then. In 2011, South Africa joined it, which made it become BRICS. So originated 2001, added South Africa 2011 to give you the context. And you may be asking, why these countries of all of these countries? It all comes down to GDP, which is gross domestic product. So you might be asking yourself, what is gross domestic product? GDP is the total monetary or market value of all the finished goods and services produced within a country's border in a specific time period. The components of GDP are the personal consumption expenditures, that's goods and services. You have business investment, which is divided into two subcomponents, fixed investment and change in private inventory. We have government spending, and the net exports of goods and services. If you are confused on what goods could be, that's cars, furniture, large appliances, clothing, food, or fuel, for example. Now we have the group of 7 economies, which is the most advanced in the world. That consists of the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the UK. Now when it comes to the G7 used to be a G6. And the G6 first met in 1975 to discuss the global economy. The only person from G7 that wasn't in G6 was Canada, and they were invited a year later. But at one point, G7 was G8. In 1998, they invited Russia to join. But they suspended Russia in 2014 for the annexation of the Crimea area in Ukraine. And from them suspending Russia, the tension has been high ever since. The tensions are higher because Russia and China, 2 BRICS members who have increased their presence and power within the last decade, have been the main culprits of causing this tension. But it's not the only reason. Then, even internally in the G7, they have been arguing about trade policies and climate policy. So the G7 future is definitely a little murky. It's up in the air. It's not as consistent as it once was. But in 2000, Brazil, Russia, India, and China made up about 23.3% of the gross domestic product. And then it was expected that their GDP was going to continue to rise and they're going to eventually become a problem. So in 2006, they started the informal group of BRICS where they meet annually to discuss the things and what they want to do in the future. So remember in 2001 when I said they made up 23.3% of the gross domestic product. Fast forward to 2023 and now they make up 33.3%, which is 1/3 of the world. And as they've had these annual BRICS meetings, they've only gotten bigger and bigger. The one that occurred in 2023 had 69 leaders involved. That lets you know these other potential countries are interested in joining this. This is going to become a problem for the G7. And one of the main agenda points for the meeting they had this year was to reduce the importance of the American dollar on a global level. BRICS countries aim to create a new economic and trade that does not involve the American dollar. BRICS countries aim to create a new economic and trade system separate from the US-led Western systems. And that's what you call de-dollarization. Because de-dollarization is aiming to reduce the reliance on the US dollar and promote the use of national currencies in the international trade. The reason why they want to do this is because the US dollar affects other countries. So when the US economy strengthens, so does the dollar, but that weakens other currencies. So for example, last year 1 American dollar would get about 110 yen. Now 1 American dollar would get 143 yen. And yen is Chinese currency if you didn't know. So you might be wondering, why do they want to devalue the American dollar? But there's a main reason. The group first started discussing a new currency after the US imposed sanctions on Russia in the wake of the country's invasion of Ukraine. A common currency among BRICS nations could lead to the establishment of stronger economic ties and new geopolitical alliances, further solidifying their position as a rising power. De-dollarization coalition, the group said. So to sum that up, they're getting tired of America imposing their will on them, and they're like, We are our own country. I'm becoming my own power. I don't need you anymore. That's where we're at with the BRICS versus de-dollarization. I said earlier in the video that a lot of potential countries want to join, and that's where I feel like the G7 countries need to be a little bit wary, because more than 40 countries have said they want to join BRICS and 22 have submitted applications. This growing coalition is a testament to the increasing influence of BRICS in the international arena and its potential to shape the future of global finance. Some of the countries that applied are Iran, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kazakhstan, Bolivia, Indonesia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Cuba, Algeria, Democratic Republic of Congo, Comoros, Gabon, and Nigeria are among the countries that have interested in joining BRICS. These countries hope that by joining they will have more economic benefits than under the current Western economic and trade model. As I said earlier, people are getting tired of G7 enforcing their will on all these other countries. They're like, we want to have our own voice and we want to have some power at this point because y'all are way too dominating and imposing your will for us. BRICS is also working on a bank. The new development bank, the Shanghai-based lender, better known as the BRICS Bank, has thrown its weight behind the plan by its founding member countries to push for the use of local currencies to facilitate trade and transactions. In their August 2023 summit, they have officially invited 6 members to join, which is effective January 1st, 2024. These 6 members include Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. So whether you like it or not, BRICS is definitely going to be a hindrance to the G7 and what they want to do going forward. This may potentially ruin the American dollar, and us Americans will see the repercussions of that if that transpires. I just wanted to spread awareness to let you know the countries are working on getting this G7 shit out of here. They are tired of these G7 countries forcing these things upon them that they don't really want, so they want to create their own thing. And as we get more information and updates about BRICS, I will make more videos about it. But y'all let me know in the comment section. Did you know about BRICS before this video? Did learning about this information have you a little more wary of the future of the American dollar? Where do you guys stand? I would love to hear it. But as you know, of Chris Cadence, I'm going to give you guys hip hop or pop culture news when it's there. So I make sure to subscribe, turn the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. This Chris Cadence, I'm out this motherfucker.